And in business news, the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria has raised the benchmark interest rate by 200 basis points to 24.75%. This was announced by the CBN Governor, Mr. Yemi Cardoso, after the second MPC meeting since he assumed office. Correspondent Ademola Lawrence reports.
The committee's decisions are as follows.
The CBN governor says the new interest rate is a leap from the 22.7% announced by the MPC about a month ago and the second rate hike by the current committee. Mr. Cardoso also announced the retention of the cash reserve ratio of deposit money banks at 45%.
Raise the MPR by 200 basis points to 24.75 from 22.75%. 2. Adjust the asymmetric corridor around the MPR at plus 100 to minus 300 basis points. These considerations underscore the importance of the CBN's commitment to the price stability mandate and the need to urgently bring inflation under control to ensure that purchasing power of ordinary Nigerians is restored in the short to medium term.
On the rising inflation, the CBN governor assured that it will significantly drop by December, and he also acknowledged the effort of law enforcement agency in tackling issues of illegal forex transactions.
On this note, members commended the ongoing efforts of the federal government towards addressing food insecurity. Some of these measures include the provision of various palliatives, release of grains from the strategic reserves. The law enforcement agencies, of course, are now looking into those transactions that are, as far as we're concerned, not valid to be paid.
The next Monetary Policy Committee meeting will be in the month of May. Ademola Lawrence, TVC News, Abuja.
Meanwhile, government and corporate organizations have been charged to deploy the use of technology to combat fraud and be ahead of those who are engaged in the act. This charge was given by the first female president of the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners, Dr. Titilayo Fowoko, in Lagos. We have details in this report.
That marks the beginning of a new era for the leadership of the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners, Lagos chapter.
Please, a round of applause for the board members.
The new leadership, without much ado, rolled out the association's plan and initiative for the next 1 year on fighting fraud while leveraging on the use of technology across all sectors of the economy.
Technology has taken a very pride of place in the economy of Nigeria and also globally. And the case of fraud is also increasing, so it means that the fraudsters are also developing themselves through the use of technology. What we are here to do is to look at how can we combat their actions also through the use of technology, being ahead of them. If they take a step, we being like 10 steps ahead of them when it comes to use of technology to combat crime and white-collar crimes and fraud in Nigeria and even globally.
The conference provided an avenue for capacity building for fraud fighters to better equip them in combating the menace.
We want to start from even ensuring that all our members are well trained in the different strategies to combat crime, white-collar crime and fraud in Nigeria, and extend it as we go along to supporting other West Africa countries that are coming up. Also, we are looking at, we had a 7-point agenda. We're also looking at global reach, also being part of the International Fraud Awareness Week.
We want our members to continue to have that which they will be able to do their job without hindrance. The issue of fighting fraud in Nigeria is not what you can go with mediocrity, and you cannot be a mediocre and say you want to fight fraud, because fraud will definitely fight you back. So we have equipped them during this conference on what right tools they can use to achieve that.
ACFE is the world's largest anti-fraud organization, delivering best-in-class training with focus on fostering a dynamic global community of anti-fraud professionals and reducing fraud and corruption worldwide.
And the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria has reaffirmed its dedication to upholding the noble standards and ethics of the banking profession. The institute made this known in Lagos at the induction of new graduates as associate members. Well, according to the president of the institute, Mr. Ken Okpara, the CIBN will continue to play a critical role in keeping the banking sector safe and sound, charging the new inductees to avoid every act of unethical behavior that is capable of jeopardizing the integrity of the profession. All right, there we'll now take you to our story on Standards Organization of Nigeria, where the agency has taken action seizing fake and substandard tires, solar batteries and baby feeding bottles worth billions of naira. Ifunanya Eze reports.
Led by Director of Inspectorate and Compliance, Mr. Pius Manji, who represented the Director General, the Standards Agency's enforcement team raided warehouses across Lagos, uncovering substandard tires. These products, deemed unfit for the market, have been swiftly removed to prevent their circulation.
This tire is in one container load, but because it was stuffed, in each tire, like you can see this behind me here, 4 tires stuffed into one. And these 4 tires now means instead of one container, the content of one container, you are having about 4 containers, in one. Because of what was done, the tires, in short, bulk, if not all the tires, except maybe a few that are being stuffed inside, because even those ones are forced to expand beyond the dimension, their normal dimension.
Mr. Manji further revealed that the seized solar batteries, despite bearing well-known brands, couldn't pass quality tests and are deemed unsafe for public use.
These are tubular batteries. We have 2 types of batteries, or 3 types. We have the tubular batteries, we have the gel batteries, which is we call the deep cycle batteries, and then we have the lithium batteries. And this brand of battery, the tubular battery, is known to be the source of tubular batteries is known to be India. Unfortunately, the person who branded this as Felicity, the person now went and packaged tubular batteries. He imported tubular batteries from whatever source. He went to China, got it, tubular batteries, which is not sourced originally from China. He got this and branded it as Felicity battery.
Emphasizing the authority vested in the SON Act No. 14 of 2015, he highlighted the power to enforce, seize and destroy substandard products, as well as seal off premises involved in their production or sale. Ifunanya Eze, TVC News, Lagos.
Finally, back to our story on the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, where they have reaffirmed its dedication to upholding the noble standards and ethics of the banking profession. The institute made this known in Lagos at the induction of new graduates and associate members. According to the president of the institute, Mr. Ken Okpara, the CIBN will continue to play a critical role in keeping the banking sector safe and sound, charging new inductees to avoid every unethical behaviors that is capable of jeopardizing the integrity of the profession.
The banking industry remains a professional body. They should not have any fear or any doubt. Their funds are safe, and integrity will continue to be the watchword. Of course, there may be people who are not working by the rule, but once that happens, the banks and the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria is, they are very much available to sanction that as much as possible. So I want to assure them, and of course reassure them, that the industry is safe and sound.
Integrity really has taken a little beating. Something has happened to it. It's already shaking. But with what we have today, and with so many other people talking about it, preaching it, saying it all the time, I believe at the end of the day, we'll get back to what it used to be in the past. The first advice, apart from making sure they have impeccable character, they are professional, and they keep their integrity, is to keep on developing. They must not rest on the hours of this certificate. They must continue to develop themselves. Self-development is the best.